Day 5 of OT tips and tricks for wheelchair prescription. And today's video is going to be on center of gravity when we're doing manual wheelchair prescription. Now, what is center of gravity and how do you know what the center of gravity should be for your particular client? Now, center of gravity is the distance from the front of the back cane to the center of the tile, the little rear wheel axle. Usually that's about 2 or 3 inches for an active user, so someone who's pushing themselves. Where the axle goes will impact 2 things. One, how stable the chair is. So the further forward it is, it's going to be more tippy. You're going to be able to tip back more. And how easy it is to push. So again, if you go further forward, it's going to be easier to push. If you go further back, it's going to be harder to push, but it will be more stable. Okay, cool. So we get, it goes, each way affects 2 different things. How do we know what's right for the client? Best thing to do is to just trial the client in whatever demo chair that you have, whatever chair you're about to prescribe, but know exactly what the demo chair is set at. That's number 1. Number 2 is make sure that they are in the backrest that they are going to be using. So if they're in an upholstery backrest, make sure they're sitting in an upholstery backrest when you're setting this up. Because if you're in an upholstery backrest, a material backrest, your back is going to sit a little bit behind the back cane. Whereas if you're on a solid backrest, you're going to be a bit more forward. So that's going to impact how deep you are in the chair and where the wheels are in relation. So just trial the backrest that you're going to use. Make sure you know what the trial chair is. And then once they get into the chair, usually I'll come behind the chair and like put my hands through the push rim, through the push handles, and just push down to see how easy it is to tip. You know, if I just put a bit of weight, does it tip? If I do I have to push really hard? You know, that will give you an idea of how tippy it is. But really what's important is how the client feels in the chair. So they push the chair and they feel like they're okay. Ideally, we want to have the wheels as far forward as possible. So you kind of want to adjust it as far forward to make it as tippy as possible, without getting too tippy that the person's going to fall back. So you want to try on flat surfaces as well as curbs as well. Where the nuance happens, although we want to push for as far forward for the wheels to be to protect the shoulders, if you go on a power assist, particularly like rear attachments, like a smart drive, you don't have to optimize the chair that much. You can actually optimize it more for function. So rather than trying to have the chair be really tippy so the person can manage it well, you can actually have it a bit more stable, which means they're going to be safer, they're less likely to tip over because the power assist is doing most of the work. So we're not so concerned with shoulder preservation here because we've got the power assist doing most of the work. One more thing I wanted to mention as well, but this is all one take, so we have to do it, is... I think that's it. You know what? I forgot. If I remember, I'll put it in the captions. But anyways, hope that helps. Put the person in the chair, trial whatever you've got, make sure they've got the backrest, the right backrest that they got. Aim for having the wheels as far forward as possible. If you've got a power assist, don't stress too much about it. Just do whatever's comfortable. Or also, a lot of chairs, it can be adjusted. So you might want to start more stable, and as their core skills get better, as their balancing skills get better, you can push it more forward. That's what I wanted to say. I'm glad we got this in one take.